Hey, it's Chris from Thinking Outside, Mixing Inside the Box again. And today I want to talk about cheating, because if you use Melodyne on a natural recording and use the MIDI information of Melodyne to trigger a VST and then you tuck it in, it's really cheating. What really helps you. It's a really good trick to enhance your production. So in that case, there's a natural recording of Mary Spender's Someone Better by Warren Hart, thanks to Produce Like a Pro. And I really like the bass recording, but for the sound, for my vision of the sound of the song, I need some presence in the bass and I need a little bit of distortion. And if I would use the original recording of that, there would be a lot of noise from the slapping on the sides, and there would be probably some hiss because this bass is more on the dark side. So what I did is I use Melodyne to grab the MIDI information. So if I undo my Melodyne here to show you guys how that works. So this is the original recording. Then I go to Edit with Melodyne. Then it takes a moment. And then Melodyne gives you the MIDI information. So here's the information provided by Melodyne. It's a monophonic recognition, so it's just single notes, and Melodyne is pretty good in recognizing single notes. So we don't want to mess with this here. We just want to drag it to another track. And by clicking Alt and dragging here into my VST, into my trillion. So here's our copy and trillion. It's just an octave too deep. And just use the MIDI notes and drag them all from F0 to F1. So now you've got a pretty good sound you can work with. In that case, I used the VST and bounced the selection to get a real wave file. And I used some distortion on this with my beloved Omega preamp. In this case, it's the TWK, which is good for distort a little bit. And then it goes to another preamp emulation by IK Multimedia, the Neve 1073 emulation, where I really raise some kind of presence and brilliance, carve out another 360 Hertz region. And I've got a high pass filter at 160. So this trillion channel, this trillion copy of the real bass is just there to tuck the distorted, gritty bass underneath the track to give it some presence without the noise. So together they sound like this. Works pretty good. Now I've got the sound I want from the bass. So I want to show you another trick. And this time we use the polyphonic recognition of Melodyne. So here's another example. These are the multitracks again from Produce Like a Pro. This time it's London Lawhorn, Back to You. There's a wonderful 70 12 strings in the multitracks. I love them dearly. And in my vision, when I got the multitracks, I already thought about this 70 sound with the 12 strings, and there has to be something like a spinet or a clavinet. So I used the information of the 12 string, used the polyphonic recognition because a 12 string or a guitar has a lot of overtones, so Melodyne has to use the polyphonic recognition. And then grabbed the MIDI information from that and used Waves clavinet, and it sounds like this. The funny thing is, from the clavinet comes a lot of sweet distortion and a little bit of character. I've got it in the middle and the 12 strings are outside. That's how the clavinet sounds. Very interesting. And this is how the whole chorus sounds. Thanks again to Produce Like a Pro for the multitracks. Let's see how that works again. I show you one more time. So you go on the track, add it with Melodyne, and then you have to tell Melodyne to use the polyphonic sustained recognition. So that takes a while. Now you got the information from Melodyne and it looks like this. Very interesting. Now I use this Midi again and drag the file on my clavinet, which I already did. And then just the Midi information shows up. And then you have to look for mistakes because with this one, Melodyne isn't very accurate. So let's listen to this. So you see it's not perfect, and you have to go in there and probably correct some things. Maybe you want to have this note in the long run. Okay, so if you corrected the Midi notes, then you can bounce the selection and then you get the WAV file, which I always prefer because when I bounce the selection, I can turn off the VST and have some more power from my computer. Here's the VST version. Beautiful, distorted, 70s, gritty. Just took away a lot of 350 Hertz. And in context, again, it sounds like this. I really love that 70s sound. I hope this video was helpful for you. You can see you can use Melodyne on a lot of natural instrument tracks and get the Midi information, but you have to look if Melodyne really recognized it correctly. But if you use the Midi information and you fire up your VST with the samples, you have got the possibility to enhance the track with the most perfect samples where there's no noise or no bleed. And if you just tuck it under the natural sound, it doesn't sound artificial at all. So I hope this video was helpful for you. See you again on Thinking Outside, Mixing Inside the Box.